Well, joining me now is Mark Nasr, Chief Operations Officer for Air Canada. Mark, you were at the table when this happened with the news conference and the union today. First of all, just give me your reaction to what went on and for that news conference having to be cut short.
Sure. Well, good afternoon, Matt. Thanks for your time. Obviously, what happened earlier today was deeply unfortunate. We have some very important information to convey to our customers and the Canadian public at large, who obviously are concerned about the situation, feeling tremendous anxiety, which we understand. It's our first priority to be able to get out information, to communicate transparently and clearly. And earlier, the actions there made that a little bit harder to do. So, of course, not the outcome that we would have hoped for.
I want to recap some of the airline's plans right now, too. In particular, we mentioned long-haul flights canceled for tonight. Is that the case? Can you confirm that for us, that you said dozens of flights at this news conference today, but it's mostly the long-haul ones for this afternoon into this evening across the country?
Yeah, thank you. So we've begun the process to ensure a safe and orderly wind down of our operations. This morning, we actioned 12 cancellations, predominantly long-haul flights leaving tonight from Toronto and Vancouver. Not all of our departures long-haul tonight, but a portion of them. And there'll be more cancellations actioned this evening if there isn't a resolution ahead of then. And then, unfortunately, tremendously more will be activated tomorrow morning if there isn't a resolution by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Okay, so by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, that's what we're talking about, and then passengers will really have to be paying very close attention. Is the number still at about 500 flights for tomorrow that you're expecting to be canceled, or is that increased or decreased as far, in the last couple of hours?
For today, the number will be in the dozens of flights that are canceled.
Yeah, for tomorrow.
And then tomorrow, as we get to the end of the day, we'll be at over 500 flights canceled. That's right, Matt.
Okay, and then into Saturday, you mentioned, I just want to clarify some of your comments too, because people are, and especially travelers, are wondering about this. You said it'll take about a week to officially wind down everything, but if you don't have flight attendants, if they go on strike or if they are locked out by the airline on Saturday morning, we're talking about 0 flights. Nothing is happening on Air Canada or Air Canada Rouge.
Yeah, thanks for the question. Let me clarify that. By Saturday morning at 1 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, will be fully suspended. There will be no more departures after Saturday morning, early at 1 a.m. Eastern Time, anywhere in the world, if there isn't a resolution prior to that. From whenever the point is that we can restart operations, it will take a full week to fully recover our schedule. So there'll be a gradual ramp up, meaning we will have cancellations even in the first few days of a ramp up post QP strike being completed.
Okay, understood. Sorry, I think that's my fault for misunderstanding that a little bit earlier too.
No worries.
So even if we get to Saturday, we get a week for people that are trying to get back and trying to get home too. I want to ask you as well before, and while I have you, I understand you're on the operations side, but the union claiming, and when it comes to bargaining talks in particular, can you talk about the fact the union claiming that they haven't heard from the company since Tuesday, that there is an unwillingness to bargain on behalf of the airline, at least at this point? Is the airline planning to get back to the table later today, tonight, to try to hammer out a new deal, or are there any other talks planned at this point?
Our flight attendants are the very best in Canada. They've been recognized as such by several third-party organizations, and we want to make sure that they're compensated, commensurately. That's exactly why the offer that we have on the table is an increase of over 38% in the compensation. Of course, we've been at discussions for about 8 months now, and we very much want to reach a deal, and we're prepared to engage in any meaningful discussions. Now, we've been the last 48 hours, and we continue to be available for any meaningful discussions that can get us there. We've also offered arbitration as a way of bringing in a third party to help both QP and Air Canada arrive at a meaningful resolution that recognizes the value of our flight attendants and all their contributions.
Okay, so I appreciate that, but I want to ask you, are there any talks scheduled at this point, or you're not planning to sit down with the union or arbitrators or mediators or anybody else? There's no plans to talk as any sort of group right now?
Our team is available for discussions. We're still at the location off-site, and we're ready to engage in any meaningful conversations that can bring this to an end.
Okay. Mark Nasr, Chief Operations Officer with Air Canada, thank you for your time today. Appreciate this.
Thanks, Matt.